Hello, my name is Victor Öhman, and in this primer I want to show you all of the features, both new and old, of the Megascans Bridge, which is an absolutely indispensable tool when it comes to improving your workflow speed when using Megascans. Let's start off by installing it. To do this, simply head over to the Megascans website and sign in using your credentials. Next, you want to head over to the Apps section. Here you'll find both the mixer, that we'll cover in another tutorial, and the bridge. So go ahead and hit download and install it. Once the bridge has been installed, this is what you'll first see. Here you get the option to share app data usage with Quixel to help us further improve your experience. This is of course completely optional. Next, you'll be presented with the settings dialog. Here you can check the currently installed version of the bridge, check for updates, and if you already got a folder with Megascans assets, you can specify that here. You can also adjust the thumbnail size, among other things. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the UI. If you've already used the Megascans website, you'll be right at home in the bridge, as it's almost completely identical. We've worked really hard on improving both the performance, the speed, and the functionality of the bridge. If we take a look at the top left corner of the UI, you'll find File, under which you can import Megascan zip files. And under Edit, you can access the settings. This is the same dialog as you saw when you first installed the bridge. And here you can see the smallest thumbnail size in action. This can also be adjusted via the View menu. Let's go ahead and make it a bit bigger. In the View menu, you also get the option to reload the library and to enable or disable full screen mode. Under Window, you can toggle Always on Top, which can be really handy in some situations. And finally, under Help, you can view things like the user manual, the API, GitHub scripting reference, and more. Now, with the top left menu out of the way, let's move on to the fun stuff. Let's start off by logging in. Once you're logged in, you get access to a couple new features. First off is the notification area. Here you can get updates on new additions, news, and so on. Here, for example, you can find a sneak peek of the new Quixel mixer if you haven't already seen that. To the right of the notification icon, you can view your profile info and get quick access to your member areas. In the left part of the UI, you'll find the different content sections and categories. We're currently in the latest category, displaying the newest additions to the library in a descending order. Next, we have the free category, in which you can find the assets that are completely free of use. Moving on, we have the acquired section, in which you can view any and all of your currently and previously downloaded assets, for easy access. Next up, we have the downloaded section. This is where all your current and future downloaded assets can be found, but since I haven't downloaded anything yet, it's empty. If we move on to favorites, you'll be able to find all assets you've starred, or added to favorites. I'll talk more about this in just a moment. Below favorites, you'll find the Biome section. This is where you'll find different assets grouped by the respective biomes. These range from sandstone, forest undergrowth, wasteland, and many more. Let's check out the sandstone biome. These biomes contain all kinds of asset formats, from atlases, 3D assets, to surfaces, and having them grouped by biomes make it very easy to find related assets. Let's go ahead and check out the lava field category as well. This time, instead of clicking on the View Asset button in the Biome section, I'll simply select it from the left menu. Let's check out the standard categories next. I'll go for the Plants category, and then choose 3D from the subcategories. All of these assets are 100% 3D and ready to be placed in your worlds and projects. They all come with LODs, so they are easily scalable to your project. Next, let's check out some cliffs. To go back to the top level, you can delete the tags from the search bar, either by clicking the X or by hitting backspace. In the search bar, I'll type 3D and cliff. By typing in several words separated by a space, it'll automatically become separate tags. Let's remove the cliff tag and type in assembly instead. When I removed the cliff tag, you can see that it only returned 3D results. These assemblies are small collections of assets, such as piles of rocks, branches, or a hero asset with its surrounding area attached. Again, let's remove a tag and keep 3D in there. I want to search for scatter assets now, and as you can see here, the search functions return suggested tags below, which you can navigate both with the arrow keys or with the cursor. These scatter assets are incredibly useful, especially for foliage or scatter painting, if you want to add that extra level of visual fidelity to your scenes. This category contains everything from mushrooms to small rocks. Here I'm checking out the debris category, and here we have some urban trash assets, which I've personally used in several of my scenes. The 3D category is growing at a very fast pace, and we're continuing to accelerate the pace at which we create and add them to the library. They're very versatile and scalable, and when working with the bridge, they can be added to your projects with a click of a button. Let's move out of the 3D category now and check out some surfaces. This time I'll use a top level category dropdown instead of searching. The Megascans 2D surfaces are PBR calibrated and they all tile seamlessly, and they come from all corners of the world. Here I'm checking out the 2x2 meter surfaces. These cover large areas, making them very useful when working with larger surfaces. All surfaces in the Megascans library can be used in a mixer to compose new ones. We'll cover this in another tutorial, so keep your eyes peeled. The imperfections are incredibly versatile assets that can be used for creating new materials, masks, and much more. Another category that has proven extremely popular is the Atlas category. Here you can find things like decals, tiling atlases, such as this moss here. There are also leaves, twigs, and pretty much anything you'd need. And the thing all atlases have in common is that they are all opacity masked. Here's a small sample of the collection of leaves currently available in the library. And as I just mentioned, there's a vast library of decals available. Let's check them out. And just as before, I added 2 words and they were automatically converted to tags. These decals come with all the necessary maps and they're all ready to be used. The masking is created meticulously to allow for a believable transition between the decal and surrounding surface. Let's take a look at how to download and manage your assets now. If you hover over an asset, you get a range of different options. Starting with the top left corner, you can see a checkbox. By checking this, you can mark as many assets as you want for multi-download. Moving to the right, you get the option to quick download using either the default or previously specified download settings for that asset type. You can also mark an asset as favorite by clicking the star. To the bottom left, you can view the name of the asset, and in the bottom right corner, you can view its tag. If you click the tag, the bridge will search for that category, and you can find other assets using that tag. Here are some 3D cement assets using that same tag. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the preview window and download settings using this cement barrier as an example. At the bottom left, you can view the asset name, its scale, and if it's watertight or not. On the row beneath this, you can see if you've added it to your favorites, what resolution it's at, and you can access the download settings. Let's go ahead and check them out. Here you can specify the resolution, what material preset you want, and I'll go with Unreal 4. And for 3D assets, you can even choose between FBX and OBJ. You can also decide which LODs you want, if you want the LOD normals or not, among many other things. And by changing any of these settings, the material preset changes to custom. I am happy with these settings, so let's close this window down. Okay, so let's continue the tour of the preview window. There's a link if you want to report an issue with the asset, and you can view all of its associated tags. If we move over to the right, we can see that we previously acquired the asset. You can also view the current wallet balance. Alright, let's download the asset. You can follow the download progress in 3 ways, either in the preview window, in the library grid view, or in the download manager in the top right corner. There we go. Let's try the multi-download feature now by selecting the checkboxes on these 2 assets and then hitting download in the top right corner. This will present you with the download settings dialog, and as you can see, the settings are persistent from the previous download. In the download manager, you also get the option to cancel the downloads or to open the assets folder in Explorer. And let's also download a surface. There are a couple of more things you can do in the preview window. If we look at the bottom of the preview image, you can see these 3 elongated squares. If you click these, you can view different previews. You can also do this by using the right and left arrow keys. What you can also do is maximize the preview by clicking the icon in the bottom right corner or by pressing the Enter key on your keyboard. So if we multi-select a 3D asset along with the surface we want to download, we'll be presented with a slightly different download settings dialog. At the top you can see two tabs, 3D and Surface. These contain slightly different settings, and it allows you to review them both before committing to the download. Now that we have a number of downloaded assets, let's check them out in the downloaded sections to the left here. And you'll see that it's been populated with these assets. If you hover over downloaded assets, you can see that these too have a checkbox. On the right side there's a folder icon that, if you click it, opens up its folder in Explorer. Here you can view the individual textures and review what you've downloaded. Seeing as I downloaded 2 LODs, I have 2 normal maps and 2 FBX files. Each LOD has its own normal map, ensuring the best quality for each LOD step. Next we have the Export button, which will open up the Export dialog. Let's go ahead and do a multi-export. Just as with the multi-download, all you have to do is check the boxes in the top left corner and hit Export in the top right corner. Seeing as we selected both a 3D asset and a 2D surface, we get the 3D and surface tabs just as we did in the download dialog. Here we get the option to export with whatever resolution and format we've downloaded, and the 3D and surface assets can be configured individually. Next up is a step we'll cover more in detail in another video, but here you can decide what your target renderer or engine is, and in this case I'll specify Unreal Engine 4. I'll also quickly set up the live link, which will allow me to automatically get the assets set up, ready to be used in the engine. The setup is as easy as downloading the plugin, specifying your Unreal Engine folder, selecting your engine version, and clicking install. To help with the setup, there's a link to the documentation on the side here. For this setup, I'll specify Unreal Engine version 4.18. Now with everything set up, we're ready for export, but I'll be so cruel as to add a cliffhanger right here. Make sure to check out the other tutorial covering the bridge to Unreal Engine 4 workflow. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something. This is Victor Öhman, and I'll see you next time.